What's up, and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. This is part 2 of season 4, episode 14, and the title of this episode is Hard Habit to Break. Let's start off with the love triangle. Geoffrey the con man, Varya, and Mary had a little lamb. So here we are. We have Varya questioning who Mary is because Mary decided to insert herself instead of sitting back to watch his actions and seeing how he would handle this situation. I think that if anything, this was a great opportunity for Mary to see if Geoffrey truly meant what he said to her and was sincere about moving on to be with her. Instead, Mary says to Geoffrey, "Why is she here?" Con man Geoffrey's response is, "I did not know she was coming. I had no idea." Saying this all while having a huge smile on his face. It's clear that he thinks this mess is cute and he's flattered by it. Mary coming to the door and addressing Varya when she too is a house guest is ridiculous to me. These two women are hollering and screaming at each other, and Geoffrey decides to introduce Varya in that moment to his son. Now, I can't remember the son's name. I don't know if it was Paxton or something like that, but he's like, "Paxton, this is Varya," right while these two are going back and forth. And I'm like, really? Are you kidding me right now? What the heck is going on here? So Geoffrey tells the camera crew that it's crazy seeing Varya at his front door, but he feels bad for Mary. Mary tells the camera crew she doesn't understand what is going on or even why Varya showed up. It's obvious while she's talking that she's fearful that Geoffrey will choose Varya. She goes on to say it's embarrassing and she feels like a fool. Geoffrey doesn't have any words and isn't saying anything, but he's in a tough situation. Varya is shocked to come there and see that he was already with another woman. He's already moved on, so he says. When Mary collects her things and steps outside where Geoffrey and Varya are, all you hear is Varya calling this woman out of her name, talking about move. Now, I was actually pretty surprised, and I felt that that was so uncalled for because the person these two ladies should be addressing is Geoffrey, not each other. Mary tells Varya that there's no reason to be disrespectful, and I do agree in all fairness. Mary addresses Geoffrey before she rushes to her car, telling him, "I don't know what's going on or why she's here." And in that moment, I think that she's hoping Geoffrey will tell her to stay and make Varya leave. But of course, that doesn't happen. Varya tells Mary that her place is there with Geoffrey and that Mary's place is to leave. Varya was very bold, all for someone who treated her like crap before he left. Mary then turns around and goes back in the house as though she forgot something in his house. I guess where I'm confused at is Varya verifies that she's messaged him, but he didn't respond. But then she says, it's kind of been going around here on the web. Then she says that she has receipts of being in contact with Geoffrey prior to coming to America. Can someone clarify that for me? Comment down below. So moving on, when Mary comes back out, she has flowers and I believe a card in her hand and says to Geoffrey, "You don't need these, I'm assuming." Now, you mean to tell me after a man that is supposed to be with you doesn't stop you from leaving, doesn't chase after you or even validate your relationship, would you be concerned with going back into the house to get some flowers? I would have said skip you and the flowers, threw them up in his face and told him don't contact me anymore because you were never serious from the get-go. Because if you've moved on, you're going to, in a respectful way, tell Varya, Varya, I understand you're trying to come out here to fight for our relationship and you want to continue something, but you've been reaching out to me. I haven't responded. I have decided to move on with Mary. So out of all fairness and respect to this new woman I'm moving on with, I think it's best that you get you a hotel and stay there, but you can't stay here and being disrespectful to her. I won't tolerate that. I mean, I want a man that's going to defend me, but he didn't even defend Mary. He just sat back. From time to time, he would kind of chime in and say, okay, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. But he really, I mean, if he was really wanting to prove to Mary that he's moved on from Varya, that was the moment and opportunity to do it. So he should have said in that moment, you know, Varya, I haven't been replying back to you, and that's my way of telling you I'm done. And even when I left, I told you I was kind of done with the situation. So, you know, I do have love for you still, but I just want to move forward. And I've chosen to move forward with Mary. He didn't even do that. So my thing is, for a man to allow you to just walk off and leave, like, basically it was proven that you are the rebound. So he allowed you to feel those feelings, to feel embarrassed, to feel like a fool, and leave off, not chase after you, and you concerned about some flowers and a card that he got you? Girl, please, you can buy yourself a card and some flowers. You don't need him to do that. You don't need his cards and flowers. You don't need it from someone, I should say, that is not genuine, who doesn't have true and pure intentions for you, who is just using you because they couldn't get what they really wanted. You know, I mean, I don't know. You all comment down below and let me know your thoughts. So Mary tells the camera crew that Geoffrey didn't do anything but just stood there and twiddled his thumbs. She adds that she feels betrayed by Geoffrey, and so should she. I mean, but then also she should have looked at it from a standpoint of, if old boy just came from somewhere proposing to another woman, she turned him down, his heart still belongs to that woman. He hasn't really moved on yet. So she should have known she was a rebound. I think she knew she was a rebound. She told the dude while he was there, if she messed things up, I'm here. I hope she does mess things up because I want a shot. So this is what you get, Mary. You know, it's like, in all fairness, I'm saying Varya was wrong for how she was coming at Mary in certain situations. But at the same token, Mary put herself in that position, not allowing this man to fully be by himself for a while before he just hopped into another relationship. So let's move on to David and Lana. David and Lana are going to have their first, and I'm going to say their last date together. It's going to be the last, okay? David says using the Google Translator app is great. Now, during this time when they're using this Google Translator app, you know, their conversations are very dry and awkward. They're having dry and awkward small talk. He tells Lana that he will get her all of the English lessons that she wants. So at the table, David gifts Lana with chocolates and has that doggone Victoria's Secret bag sitting right on the table. Oh God, moving on. Lana tells the camera crew that she likes receiving gifts and money from David. The producer then says, how much money has David sent you? To which Lana responds, can we skip that question? When the cameras pull David and Lana to the side to talk to them, David says that he wants to see more affection from Lana. And then he starts hugging her and making those nasty tail noises. It's obvious that Lana is completely uncomfortable, but because they've been talking for 7 years and David is so anxious to start a future with her, he's not being very respectful or gentleman-like. You know, he just wants to dive in head first. He needs to really slow his roll. He doesn't realize, while he already has his mind made up about her, that this is really a trial run for him. She still wants to figure out if she feels he's worth it and see if she can see him in her life long term. David begins to tell Lana that he had to do everything to find her and that he showed up to an address he thought was hers. So basically, he begins to reveal that he's a crazy, obsessive stalker. Great job, David. Way to scare a woman off. Lana explains to the producer that she gave David a fake address because it's not safe to give your address to people that you've never met in real life. And I completely agree. Lana goes on to say that she would have never believed David would show up to her hometown and actually knock on doors. She says, in her words, that it's genuinely insane. So I guess David is blind to reading body language and seeing how closed off she is, because he then tells her that he hired a private investigator to find her with a smile on his face. He was so proud in that moment. And Lana then types in the Google Translator app and says, I think it's time for me to go home. And I was through. I was rolling. Like, she said, it's time for me to dip because I'm dealing with somebody that's don't got it all. He's missing a few marbles. Now, that's what he gets because he's just doing too much. Why did he even tell her that? David then tells the camera crew that they just need more time to get comfortable with one another, adding they've only had 2 hours with each other and it's not nearly enough. He says he needs many, many more hours. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's go back to Geoffrey and Varya. So Mary leaves and Varya says to Geoffrey, "What now?" Now Geoffrey just stands there and he's blinking his eyes, and then eventually he tells Varya she can come in. He opens the door for her to go in, but leaves her bags outside the door. He tells the camera crew that he has 2 women that are vying for his attention, which means competing. That means to compete, by the way. When he said that, I'm like, he likes this crap. He claims that he feels very bad for Mary and she's a complete innocent in all of this, but yet he allowed her to leave, the woman he's supposed to be moving on with. So when Varya questions him on if he's in a relationship with Mary, he says no, but we're moving in that direction. He is so full of crap because at that dinner table with Mary, he said, let's do this. And he was referencing her as his lifelong partner. Varya says to Geoffrey, "How are you able to move on so fast after proposing?" He says, "We haven't had any communication." And Varya says, on her side, there's always been communication. And Geoffrey responds that there was no communication because he's moved on. Varya tells him that she doesn't want to lose him as she caresses his hand and he doesn't move that hand, okay? So you tell me, who is he trying to fool when he says that he's moved on? Varya says that she's not going to give up or surrender him over to Mary. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Darcey. So we have Darcey and Stacey in the car in this scene, and they are making up small talk. These two, I have no doubt, are doing well for themselves, but they are very materialistic and find value in themselves by the clothes they wear and status. It's obvious. All those things are just a cover-up because they don't truly love themselves. While they're making small talk, Stephanie says to Darcey, it's time to get a new car soon. I was thinking a Jaguar. And Darcey is like, a Maserati maybe. To me, these two love to show off and think having those things make them who they are. They're driving a Nissan, which is obviously within their means, and talking about upgrading to Jaguars and Maseratis. Oh, please, quit trying to stunt, keep the Nissan, and humble yourself. Like, for real. That's just my thoughts on that. There's nothing wrong with the Nissan. That's what you guys are obviously driving, so that's what you're comfortable with. You probably don't even have car payments, so that's even better. You have a beautiful home. Like, why are you trying to stunt so much Jaguars and Maseratis? I mean, if you want to drive stuff like that, that's fine, but for them, everything is materialistic. Everything is about status. Everything is about how they look. You know, I'm doing well and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Like, that's all it's about to them. And I just feel like they really need to humble themselves. Stacey is trying to pump Darcey up, talking about, you know, she can see her with a millionaire, billionaire. And Darcey is trying to convince us, the viewers, that she's happy and letting go of the negative. She does, however, acknowledge that she made a lot of bad choices in her previous relationships, which is good. First step to getting better is to acknowledge that there is some issues there. There are some problems and things that you need to work through. Now, these two go to their brother's grave site. And I have to say, this was very disgusting to me that they incorporated their brother's death in this mess. I feel that they are only incorporating it because Darcey doesn't have anything else to give us this season since Tom has moved on. They are completely acting when they go to this gravesite. They're incorporating it. Instead of making it about their brother, they're talking about how he would want better for them and he would know that Tom is no good. And it's just too much. Like, To me, that is like a moment that I wouldn't want to share unless it was done the right way. And I feel like intertwining that with the toxic mess that you went through with your ex or whoever Tom really was to you, I just don't think that that's cool. Like I said, I feel like they were completely acting, and I thought it was mad disrespectful. Comment down below your thoughts. I feel like a lot of times people will use certain things like that to draw some type of emotion from the viewers so the viewers can feel sympathy, compassion for you, and you draw them emotionally by showing something that's happened to you that might be devastating or a loss. And I don't think that that was right. Now, had maybe say the brother was alive and knew Tom and they hung out and then something happened later down the season to the brother, but this man has been passed for a very long time. So now you guys want to choose all these seasons you've been on 90 Day Fiance. Now you want to choose to go to your brother's gravesite. I'm not with that. I thought that was very, very disrespectful and disgusting. I just have to say that. Let's move on to David and Lana. So David says, fortunately, Lana has forgiven him and they're going on a date. David mentions that they have to document their meeting by taking photos and videos of the time they're spending together. It's required for the spousal visa process. But Lana told David prior to him coming that she's going to have to limit her time to see him. She really only wanted to meet him for a few days because of how busy she is. David says that he doesn't want to spend just 2 days with Lana. He wants a lot more time. He adds he wants to get to know her and make sure that she's the one for him. Later that day, David goes to meet with Lana. And Lana says that she was upset to learn that David hired a private investigator, but believes that David was very anxious waiting for her since their last visit didn't work out. With these photos and videos of David laughing like Goofy, he might as well hang up the visa being approved. I hope he knows that. I'm not buying it. I definitely believe they're not going to buy it. Lana looks all distant in these photos, like she's being forced to take them, even though she's not, because we see she had suggested that they do so. David is still fixated on the fact that he feels Lana is not showing him much affection. He feels that it's up to him to make the first move. So in the next scene, they go bowling. And David is already making bets saying, if he gets a strike, can he get a kiss? Lana tells the camera crew that she likes spending time with David, but it's too early for a kiss on the lips. Now, when he said that he used to be a professional bowler, I said, poor Lana, you better pray he doesn't get that strike. David is a bit rusty in the beginning and is almost about to bust his face bowling because he wants to kiss her so bad. He even says to her, can he have a kiss anyway? Because he came all that way to Russia. And Lana says, no. And in my mind, I'm thinking, this dude really tried it. Like, you tried it, David. Then this dude tries one more time and actually gets the strike this time. As soon as Lana sees that he got the strike, her face said it all. She was like, even at her mouth, she was like, oh no, and put her hands over her face. And Hugh Hefner, I mean, rest his soul, but Hugh Hefner, I mean David, on the other hand, is ready. Okay, he is ready for this kiss. He tells Lana to come and get it. He's like, come and get it, come and get it. I wanted to throw up everything I ate on Memorial Day weekend. I am so serious. He tried going for her lips, all while making those nasty noises. But she turned her face, so he was only able to kiss her cheek. Lana says that she is aware that David wants more physical closeness, but she thinks that they need to spend more time together so she can see if she wants this or not. Like I said previously, she has David on a 3-day trial. David, this is a 3-day trial run. All while David thinks they are about to start their lives together. She is only concerned about getting to America because she says, of course, I want to go to America, but time will tell. So I really need to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and comment down below on David and Lana. Let's move on to Stephanie, since she's all by herself now. She's back in New York, and to greet her at the airport are her mom and dogs. Now, I love dogs. But did they really have to bring them dogs to the airport? Did they? Moving on though. Stephanie says that it's a lonely feeling because she can't talk to her mom about her trip and Erica. But doesn't her best friend know she was there? She can surely talk to her. So I don't know why she's trying to sell this sob story that she doesn't have anyone to talk to. Now, in the car, Stephanie lies and tells her mom that her and Erica are still friends, and we know that's not even the case. They're not even on speaking terms. Let's move on to Lisa and Usman. So Lisa and Usman, Lisa and E.T., Lisa and baby girl, head down to meet with Usman's family. The look on Usman's brother's face was hilarious. He said that he's worried due to her age. Now, once they greet everyone, Usman and Lisa take them back up to the room to pray. Usman says that Lisa should be on her best behavior because his mother can always change her mind and take that blessing back. Once they get to the room, Lisa, Usman, and his mother go into the bathroom to wash their feet and cleanse their face before they pray. Y'all, tell me why mommy was washing her feet in the toilet. The whole time I'm like, no, mommy, no. Don't wash them in the toilet. Wash them in the tub at least. I honestly believe that they just see it as water and that it's all the same. But I think of the fact that Lisa or Usman could have did number 2 that morning prior to his family's arrival. Oh my gosh. Now, after Lisa finishes cleansing her feet with toilet water, Usman escorts her out the restroom, addressing her as an African queen. Y'all, I about fell out. African queen? Really, Usman? Oh my God. No. And even if you just addressed her as a queen, she's not even that. No. So later that night, they go to have dinner with Usman's brothers. Now, Lisa makes a bold move at this dinner. Before I move on, Usman said that they were going to dinner, but not one time did a waiter or a waitress come to take their order or bring them drinks. But anywho, she tells Usman's brother one thing her and Usman have is honesty. Lisa wants to hear their opinion on the arguments that she has been having with Usman. She goes on to say that issues that she's been experiencing with Usman. Usman interjects and says that this is not something that should be brought up now. Usman tells the camera crew that he's offended that Lisa wants to discuss their problems with his brothers. He adds that if they know what's really going on, they may not support the marriage. I don't know why Lisa is so dumb. She should know that. But I guess she thinks she's in the clear since she bought the goat, prayed a couple of times, wore a scarf, and got the blessing from his mom. So Usman's brother says to Lisa, "What is the cause of your problems?" Lisa calls herself snitching, saying that Usman is being stubborn. Now, if the roles were reversed and he was telling his mom or brothers about the way that she talks to him and tries to control him, she would be highly upset. So since she let the cat out the bag, Usman goes on to say, since the day Lisa came to this country, we've been having nothing but problems. Adding that he won't let anybody tell him what to do. He goes on to say that he won't allow anyone to control him. He won't tolerate it. When Usman's brothers start talking, if looks could kill, Lisa had this stank face on and she was boiling on the inside. You could tell. The older brother, Muhammad, explains that in their culture, the woman is to follow her husband, adding that the husband is the master of the house. Lisa begins to become very aggressive by hitting the table. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? She's very disrespectful and has no class. This is her first meeting with one of his brothers and the second meeting with his oldest brother. So way to go, Lisa, at making a good impression and representing for Americans. Way to go, girl. She's trash. That's all I got to say. She's trash. Usman's brother says that this is a problem. Lisa storms off, and Usman says that he's embarrassed by the way she has disrespected his elders. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts about Lisa and Usman. Let's move on to Avery and Ash. So Avery and Ash arrive at the airport to say their goodbyes, and Avery says that she has so much love for him, but he has a son. She tells Ash that it's hard because he has a lot of hoops to jump through before he can get to the U.S. Ash tells her that he's not taking this lightly and that he's working towards getting his passport. Ash says that he wants to be with her, he wants to live with her and all of that, but he can't until Taj is older. So he's just going to work on getting his passport first so that he can come to America to visit. Once Ash gets outside, he gets teary and says that he's going to miss his partner in crime. Avery says that she truly believes they have a unique connection and that the love that they have can conquer anything. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move back to David and Lana. So David is now taking Lana to a romantic dinner since his time with her is coming to an end soon. When they sit down and are given their menus, David says, maybe you need a big wine or tequila. And it's obvious that he's trying to loosen her up with the hopes of being intimate with her. He's trying to pull an Ed move and do what Ed did to Rose by giving her that champagne. That's what he's trying to do. The producer pulls Lana to the side and questions her on how she feels about David. And Lana responds that she really likes spending the evening with David, adding next to him she feels warm. She's a lie. She definitely thought of that right before it exited out of her mouth. Like, her body language shows in most settings that they've been in that she's a bit uncomfortable. David says during this time with Lana, he's not thinking of all the prior failed attempts. He feels like he's in love. Now, at this table, David goes in for a long hug with Lana, and Lana just looks like a mouse caught in a trap. Poor thing, poor baby. I don't think she really realized what she did. Maybe she should think about changing her profession and stop playing these men so they don't get all wrapped up around her web and won't leave her alone. Maybe she should do that. So David says that he's seen enough in Lana that he knows that she's the one for him, but he just needs to find out what she's thinking. He then goes into the spousal visa process and says that what does she need to know in order to know for sure that he's the one for her? Lana takes a minute to think and says she thinks a little more time is necessary, but she hopes that she'll be able to give him an answer before he returns back home. David tells her that he would like for her to be with him in America. So he would like her to know for sure that she wants him. Now, he said he wants to make her know that she wants him for sure. That's the way he worded it. He then says that he would like to invite her to his hotel room that night. Lana tells him, I think it's a bit early for that. David is extremely disappointed. It's written all over his face. I don't like that he's not patient with her, nor is he mimicking her pace. He should be trying to make her feel comfortable, not rushing her to kiss him, marry him, and definitely, not trying to get her to go back to his hotel room. To me, he's so disgusting. He's just disgusting. David says that he's been waiting for years to be with Lana, adding that she still wants to take things slow, but he's really hoping that she will show him the affection he needs so that he can make the decision to propose on this trip. So you mean to tell me this pig just said in order for him to propose, Lana needs to put out? That's basically what he's saying. It makes me wonder, was she sending him sexy photos beyond just your little cute selfie, or something? Because I'm trying to understand what would keep him hanging around and so sprung all these years through a computer screen, if he's not getting really anything in return, just conversation, what would really make him keep him like this? What is she doing to keep him like this? Comment below your thoughts. Let's move on to Geoffrey and Varia. So Geoffrey tells Varia in the car later that night that he's happy that she's there. He adds that there is a lot that he needs to process, but he wants to make the most of the situation. He tells the camera crew that even though he's been dating his friend Mary, okay, so now she's back to being your friend because Varia's in town. I thought he moved on though. He says that he still has feelings for Varia and is going to allow her to stay with him for 2 weeks and see where things can go. So Geoffrey had drinks planned with mutual friends that he and Mary both share and were supposed to be going to together. But now he decides to take Varia instead. He's real bold, okay? He is real bold. When Geoffrey introduces Varia, he's explaining her being there all at the same time and how it was such a surprise. In my head, I'm thinking, why did he even bring her there? And they are all friends with Mary as well. Geoffrey plays victim and has all his friends fooled. They feel that he has something special with Mary and feels that Geoffrey needs to make a decision. Varia says that she feels very awkward, but she just wants to move forward with Geoffrey. Geoffrey's friends make it a point to defend and vouch for Mary in her absence, telling Varia that Mary and Geoffrey are really close friends and that Mary genuinely cares about him. Varia tells them that your spouse, soulmate, or the person you're in a relationship with should be your best friend, adding, you don't need any other pretty girls in your life. So while they're all talking, in walks Mary, and I was weak. In walks Mary. Mary is like, these my friends, okay? Varia tells the camera crew that she can't believe this girl is here. Now, I like Varia, but in all fairness, those are Mary and Geoffrey's mutual friends, and she was originally invited. She was the one that was supposed to be going. So why shouldn't she be there? Why shouldn't she? She has every right to be there. Varia says that Mary doesn't want to let him go, and that irritates her. To me, Varia is too focused on Mary. Varia sees Mary as a threat, and Mary sees Varia as a threat, okay? And they really should be checking Geoffrey. And now Varia says that Mary doesn't want to let him go and that irritates her. And then she goes on adding that if Mary wants a war, then she'll get a war. Honestly, Varia needs to stop addressing Mary because the problem isn't Mary. To be real, it really isn't Mary. It's Geoffrey. He is the one who pursued things with Mary as soon as he touched back down in Knoxville. He wasted no time to take this woman out on a date and tell her that he could really see a future with her and that he wanted to move forward with her. Because he still could have came back and said, you know, I still want to be single and take my time. I'm not really sure if things are completely over with me and Var. Like, be honest about your feelings. But he just hopped. So my things, like I said before, these two women should not, and I repeat, they should not be going at each other over this low-life piece of crap. No way. They should be holding him accountable, making him give them the answers. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to be with Varia? Do you want to be with Mary? It's simple, period. Like, we're not playing this game, you know, but my thing is that's the things they should be saying, not addressing each other, not fussing at each other. I wasn't really for Varia cussing Mary out. I don't think there was no point in doing that. I wasn't for, you know, Mary coming up to the door and addressing, that's not your home. Allow that man to do that because this is the mess he caused by dibbling and dabbling with Varia, dibbling and dabbling with you, starting something with you when he knew he wasn't fully moved, he hadn't moved on. Really. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on that. So I really need to hear your thoughts. This video here was a lot longer. Now, normally my videos are not this long, but it just was so much going on. And I think it's because it's getting ready to come to an end. But I hope that you all enjoyed this recap. If you did, the way to let me know that you enjoyed it is by giving it a big thumbs up and sharing it with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Again, this was season 4, episode 14, part 2. The title was Hard Habit to Break. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. Comment down below and let's get this conversation rolling about this episode. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.